Hi everybody and welcome to this qualifying round playthrough in Pro Division for the Bryson DeChambeau 9-hole cup. I'll be talking you through all my shots on the 9 holes, each one in turn. We have a -15 already with the shots that you'll see here, but we burnt the edge on 3 further, so it could very close have been a -17 or even a -18. I'll be giving you all of the adjustments as we go along and some alternatives in case you don't fancy any of the shots that I'm showing you. Don't forget, hit thumbs up on the video. If you are enjoying the content, please do consider becoming a subscriber. It is totally free. Get the bell button switched on so that you get notifications when we upload new content or go live. Finally, if you are playing other divisions, there will be a rookie playthrough coming up on the channel today, and I've already played First Look, Expert and Master, totally free to play. Replays of both of those with timestamps in the video description down below, like this video, which will also have the timestamps down there if you need them. They will be up on the channel homepage. Alright then, let's get started by looking at hole number 1. Here we go then, we do have very generous tailwind here, so going with a katana ball. I do use a little bit too much topspin here. I would recommend you just reduce half a bar of topspin, to be honest, especially with higher winds. Stretching out, and the yellow ring is just touching the rough on the left at max. With the APOC, even if you have a low APOC 1 or 2, go with it because you need the curl. Max +10, and we're going obviously between 5 and 6 bars of topspin with my adjustment. 3 bars side spin to the left, push back up to max, go with 1 ball of curl to the left, and this is not full overpower. This is about 4.5 rings of overpower. If you've got bigger drivers, you'll go with less. If you've got lower level drivers with less distance, go with a little bit more. Just need to dial the topspin back a little bit. We're still absolutely fine, just skim past the hole, but it parks up very nicely and we're not going to be missing a wedge from there for an eagle. But we do need a driver with curl. Hole number 2, we have a hole in 1 here. So going with a katana ball, we will definitely need 2 bars of right spin. And then I'm just moving my target around here to find my landing position. It's going to be a good amount of backspin. You will need a good level sniper here. I go with 6 backspin and 2 bars side spin to the right. And just check I'm bouncing on the green. Look at the second bounce. Pause the video. Get that second bounce exactly where it is here. Adjustment I make here is max +20. Maximum distance +20% elevation, even though we are not at max distance with our club. Then we're going to hit perfect, and there is a very nice funnel that we can make use of here. Bounces on the fringe there, parks up, and the backspin runs very nicely. We do drop this left edge, so I would recommend just shifting your landing position slightly. It will help you in higher winds as well. First par 5, we do have pretty much straight headwind here, so it's slightly tedious. 4.5 bars of topspin, 1 bar side spin to the right. Yellow ring, top left of it, touching the rough with the extra mile 7. Ball guide pointing to the shadows. Adjustment here, mid +10. Medium distance, 10% elevation. Then we are going to try and hit perfect. If you want to try and push this one a little bit further with more topspin and even a little bit of right curl, then you can do, but it's slightly tedious wind, to be honest here. So I'm just going to lay up here in the shadows and just secure a nice eagle. Second shot with the sniper are going to have the tree in the way if you hit a great left drive, so just be careful. If you're worried about clipping the tree, aim a little bit further to the right and go in with left curl instead. Here I'm adding spin so the ball guide is going through the hole. Adjustment here, I'm going to go max +10, but you will see the ball guide does disappear. So again, if you are worried about this, then aim further to the right and play with some curl instead to bring you into the pin. We do get rid of the ball guide here. I'm deciding to risk it, but sadly I do hit a great right. So we are going to be okay. We are on the green, but obviously we're not really threatening the pin on that one. But it's a difficult one. I'm honestly happy with an eagle. Get the drops elsewhere. Hole number 4, very close here. Going with sniper and a navigator ball. Then we are going to go with 4.1 bar backspin, 1 bar side spin to the right, setting up here with some of the blue ring in the rough on the left and the ball guide approximately 2.5 to 3 squares to the right of the pin. You might need to tweak this in lower winds, have less offset, but base this on 7.5 that we have here. Adjustment is 1 on 1, so for 7.5 wind, adjust 7.5 rings. Equivalent, of course, if you're using a calculator, mid plus 10, power 3 settings. We do hit perfect here, bounces very nicely, and the camera does stay zoomed out. Are we going to drop it? No, we're just burning the right edge, takes a horseshoe and out. So fraction less offset needed in the wind, but do base it on wind strength. Hole number 5, Kingmaker time. This is a nasty wind, to be honest. So 4.5 top spin, 2 bars side spin to the left. Make sure you are setting up at max distance with the second bounce clearly over the rough. Half the blue ring inside the rough with extra mile 7. Adjust max plus 20. Max plus 20. Then look at how much overpower we pull into. 2 rings. Then I'm going to add 1.5 rings onto that. So I'm going to go with 3.5 rings OP. This is because the wind will compress the ball guide. Half a ball of curl to the left. Hit a minor grate right, but this is still going to be okay. Obviously, a double grate either side is going to be trouble. But we are fine. The fairway is shaped like a bowl and keeps it in play very nicely. So max plus 20. Then, second shot. I decide to play from max distance here. We have a hint of headwind, so I just back up ever so slightly. Then I'm going to apply spin and get the ball guide to go to the hole. Here I do not do that. I think I leave it a little bit short. And I'm still at max distance, and I thought I'd backed up. I didn't. Max plus 20 is the adjust. As you will see here, it just takes us into the red. I could really have set this slightly differently. If I got the ball guide going to the pin, I do believe I'd have dropped this with my max plus 20. As it is, though, it comes in very, very nicely, but just ends up missing a fraction short and to the right. So little adjustment there, got a very good chance at the albatross. Hole number 6, 4 bars topspin is all we need here. Do not try and go with more, you may end up in the sand. Red ring touching the rough on the left. Then I'm going to adjust max plus 10. The ball guide is aiming slightly right of centre of the fairway, which is correct because the wind is going to push us to the left. If you do get slight tailwind angle, push back up to max. It's only 2 yards, but it will help you. If you have slight headwind, you will adjust slightly into overpower. Just have that said, there is slight wind angle variance. Hit perfect here, bear in mind, bad great left or great right will be trouble because the fairway is fairly narrow. Obviously, if you want to use a more accurate driver, then by all means do so. But this comes in very nicely, 355 yards. Second shot, we're going to use rings from min. So find the min line with the thorn, and then push up 5 rings at a time until your landing position is found. So there's 5, there's 10, and then I'm going another 3, just so that we bounce before the fringe. So a little bit of the red ring onto the fringe. Then aim at the pin. The reason I bounce before the fringe is if you bounce on the fringe or on the green, you risk getting a dead bounce. No spin. Then the number of rings I pushed up, which was 13, that is my slider value. So 13% slider minus 10% elevation. But what I want you to do is pull over the bullseye, because we need an extra decimal on this one. So pull over the bullseye instead. And you'll see why. Lovely speed here, but we're creeping in on the left. It does about 4 circuits of the hole before deciding to drop. That extra decimal would have got us nicely into the hole. So rings from min, 1% per ring, and then minus 10 elevation. 2 options here on hole number 7. No move target for this one. 2.5 backspin, 1 bar side spin to the right, and it does need to be with a navigator. If you have a kingmaker, you will hit the min line. Adjustment here is mid distance, 10% elevation. Mid plus 10, and then we're going to hit perfect. Just need a little tweak here. We do bounce too far to the right, which kicks us to the left because of the slope. So I think this is over adjusted slightly, but a beautiful speed if you want to do the simple no move target bounce up. If you want to have a go at the rough bump, then here's a look at that. With a kingmaker, then we're going with some top spin and some side spin to the right, just finding my landing position. Ball guide pointing to the hole, maybe slightly high by the looks of it here. 2 topspin, 2 right spin. Adjustment, mid-distance, 0 elevation. Mid plus 0, try and pull as straight as you can. It is tricky when you're adjusting on the slope. But then we are going to hit perfect, which we do. And this bounces into the rough. Just needs a little bit of a tweak though. We come in a little bit lacking in pace. But the general idea is very nice. We just finish half a square away. Hole number 8, we really have to go aggressive here, even though we don't have much tailwind. So, Berserker, 4.5 bar topspin. Stretch out to find the position. I'm adding 1 bar of right spin as well. So, let's look at our position. Second bounce, just left of centre on the second pad. Half of the red ring in the rough. Adjust max plus 10 power 5 settings. Then, once we have adjusted, we are going to push back up to max. And then we are going to go with full overpower. And this is because we adjust from a higher to a lower point. A little bit of curl to the left is what I'm using here. Don't go with any more than that. This is absolutely fine. And then we are going to try and hit perfect. Sometimes, according to wind strength, and if you do hit minor great left or right, you may not get a roll out here, but we just have to chance it. Here we are just about okay, and we're rolling out very nicely for an eagle wedge. But even if you're in rough and sand, better option to be doing that, to be saving near the green than approaching from distance, in my opinion. Hole number 9, Titan ball extra mile. 4 topspin, 2 bars left spin, with the bottom left of the yellow ring touching the rough at max distance. Adjustment max plus 15. Max plus 15. And then, once we have adjusted, if we go into overpower, apply only a click of overpower. If not, obviously you don't need to apply any at all, because sometimes you may have headwind angle more than level crosswind. Perfect ball bounces just nicely there. Minor great left and great right have been fine for me as well. Second shot, we are going to go with the sniper. Now this is going to vary depending on your position on your drive, so just be prepared to mix and match and adapt. If you don't fancy the rough bump, don't play it. It is a little bit risky, and you need to set up and adjust accurately. So, buyer beware. If you want to play it, go for it. If not, don't. 6 bars backspin, 1 bar right spin. Ball guide to the hole. I'm using plus yardage here, plus 2. I'm playing this one 80% slider, 20% elevation. And I'm using a small 1159 pull angle. In certain wind angles, you may need to go with more 1159. If you adjust more onto the slope, you will. If you don't do the 1159, you will miss the rough. So if you don't fancy that, play on the fairway with backspin and right curl and go for the safe eagle. But I do think if you want to be aggressive, a very good option here. Just a little bit over adjusted, burning the right edge, but still a very nice look for a first go. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you found the playthrough useful. Please do share the link with your friends and clanmates in the game. And good luck in the Bryson DeChambeau's 9-hole cup. See you all very soon. Bye for now.